Welcome to Spectacle on Television Nigeria. I am your host, Daniel Atai. Welcome to another episode of Spectacle on your socio-political program and economic program on Television Nigerian. I am Daniel Atai. Today we are going to look into the arrival to Nigeria of the 15-month Chinese medical doctors who are assumed to be specialists and experts in neurological, epidemiological, and molecular, and what have you, to help fight COVID-19 outbreak in the country. Please stay tuned, as I have in the studio the Nigerian Medical Association president. Shortly after the timeout, I will be introducing him to you. Welcome to Spectacle on Television Nigeria.
The issue here we have to begin to look at is that at the time of independence, I don't know if there was a trajectory to where we are going to.
But how could it be that credible, free and fair under manual conduct of election?
That is where our problem lies, and that is why people are now saying that, advising that we should move, that the world has gone into digital. We should move from the manual to the digital.
We cannot keep doing same thing and expecting a different result.
The only way you create jobs from your ministry is that you have to encourage local content.
If you look at the profile of Sally Mama,
there is a caveat in this leave given to him. He should seek medical help if he's fine.
Welcome to Spectacle on Television Nigeria. Welcome back. The federal government has lifted a 15-man medical team from China yesterday, the 8th day of April 2020, aboard an Air Peace chartered flight, Boeing B777-200ER, and arrived in Nigeria at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, at about 4:25 p.m. After 15 hours flight. The Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Nahiri, received the team that arrived with medical supplies to assist the effort of the government to contain the COVID-19 pandemic in Nigeria. Recall that yesterday's delivery is the second batch of medical supplies from China, as the first was airlifted from Istanbul in Turkey by same Air Peace on April 5th, 2020. Among the materials set to be brought into the country by the flight and by the team are 16 tons of test kits, ventilators, disinfectants, machines, disposable medical masks, medicines, rubbers, gloves, protective gowns, goggles, face shields, and infrared thermometers. However, in what seems like President Buhari went out of his way by all means to ensure Nigerians are protected and adequately guided from COVID-19, regardless of the protest by the Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, which warned that allowing the importation of the Chinese doctors from the hotbed of the plague would expose citizens to further risk in the country. Nigerians across the board have continued to question the status and the identity and interests of the Chinese doctors, as well as the safety of the kits and equipment from China, particularly following scary reports of escalation of the scourge in certain countries, reportedly after the arrival of China medical personnel in those countries. Moreover, Doctors and nurses have been on top of the situation with records of recoveries and fewer casualties, thus raising questions about the real intentions of bringing in doctors from China. And again, what's your take? We have the quarters of the Labour Congress also complaining that the fact that Nigerians defy, the FG defies every warning from all quarters not to bring in a Chinese medical expert, and went ahead to bring them. There is a questionable, iota in that regard. What's your take on this assumed goodwill of Mr. President partnering with China to fight COVID-19 in Nigeria? Is it about improper consultation on the side of the FG before importing the doctors to Nigeria, or is it bad to seek help in times of pandemics of this nature? The numbers will be displayed on your screen for you to react and call into the program. And for the sake of the vision impaired ones, we have the numbers are +234 7054 327616 or +234 813701 5949. Meanwhile, let me introduce to you the president of the Nigerian Medical Association, Dr. Francis Faduile Adedola, in the studio. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much. Now we cannot shake hands. We have to be at distance to maintain the culture of the day. All right. Now, let's go straight to the point why the audience reacts to the discussion in the studio. The FG has gone ahead to bring in the experts, let me say assumed experts, medical experts from China to help fight COVID-19. What is wrong with that?
Well, is it true that they have come to help fight COVID-19? Because there are so many things that we have heard about these people coming from China. We must first correct one thing. The Nigerian Medical Association is not against anybody supporting Nigeria in our quest to contain or manage COVID-19.
Good.
We appreciate anybody or any corporate organization that have found it imperative to support us with consumables, PPEs, ventilators, and other things. But when it goes to issue of personnel, then we start becoming worried. At the time, they said those personnel were going to put those machines, those equipment into use and train people, that they are technicians. Importantly, we must know that we have a lot of ventilators, and we have people who are working on ventilators, who can assemble them, who can use them, and we have a lot of our...
In Nigeria,
yes,
yeah?
we have a lot of our people who are specialists who can use these ventilators.
We also have ventilators,
of course, we have. So it's not a new equipment that if you don't have people following it, you will not be able to use it. Secondly, they say, no, there are doctors who want to help us in how to contain. The question we ask is, what is the gap that you have seen in the issue of the treatment we are saying that you wanted them to come and fill that void? They have not been able to come out with something that is convincing. Are we deficient in the treatment or the management modalities? We have not been able to see that. Okay? The third one, they say they are researchers. The question is, what are you researching? If you are a researcher, it is not that you must be at the period or at that particular time for you to get your data. Fortunately, we have so many researchers also in Nigeria. Okay? But if they say they want to share experience, which is another level of discussion that they brought forward, yes, we can share experience. There is nobody who is all knowledgeable. Yeah. We must share their experience. But can we share experience over Skype? Can we share experience over Zoom meeting? Can we do it through all this telehealth, telemedicine? For example, we have people who can be in UK or in US or any part of the world and is directing how an operation is being done here.
Okay, are you saying
So,
that there was no level of consultation before they were invited to come to the country? Because as a president of the association, all the medical doctors are registered under the organization, isn't it?
yes, but if you want to follow the history, they first stated that those companies, the Chinese group of companies, that they wanted to give us equipment worth $100,000.
Okay.
Well accepted, we appreciate them. But they say in addition, they are bringing 15 quote and unquote medical experts. The question is, when Jack Ma gave us the first contingent,
On the 5th.
he did not give that condition that is bringing people.
Okay.
When people like those Nigerians that gave the federal government and Nigeria the sum of 1 billion each to support this treatment of COVID, nobody said they needed to put a condition that you must follow. Then we start wondering, what is it that this group of people are coming to do? And I must be able to explain. It is very wrong ethically for any medical professional to get to another country and start practicing. Okay? So, if you must practice in another country, you must have certification there. They must give you temporary waiver or temporary certificate for you to practice. In this respect, nothing is done. So we became suspicious. What is the real import of this person? After all, the government came and they said, look, they are not going to see any Nigerian patients. But the issue is, why must they come during this time that we know that it is people who import all these viral diseases that is causing havoc throughout the world?
All right. You are an expert in your field. Could you emphatically say that this virus was a kind of imported to the countries where the pandemics are already killing people?
That is obvious. The first person who brought it to Nigeria was that Italian man.
Okay.
And immediately the Italian man came, every contact was picked, and that episode ended. If you remember, it was at that time that the Nigerian Medical Association came out and said it is time for us to close our borders. Because what we are facing in Nigeria, the economic downturn that we are facing, now that we have so many people that have imported this into this country, we would not have been facing it if we had condoned the perimeter of Nigeria that nobody is coming in. Let me tell you, in China itself, Wuhan is the epicenter. In big cities like Shanghai, another big city in China, there is not a single coronavirus infection there. There was only one thing that they did. They made sure nobody leaves and they made sure nobody enters. It sounds to reasoning. When Nigeria needed to close all the border, we slacked. Then we had importation in torrents. The importation in torrents is what is causing this lockdown, which we shouldn't have gotten to in the first instance if we have done what is necessary.
Okay.
And it has affected the economy, it has affected the livelihood, and it is affecting the socio-cultural relationship in this country. We wouldn't have gotten to this. And now, we have gone ahead as country to say we do not want anybody to come into the country. Okay. Even if you have a Nigerian, however big you are, you can't leave this country and you can't come to this country.
All right.
Now, the next thing you say is that you are bringing 15 experts, which we have asked, what are they coming to do? At the time you said they are going to assemble, at the time you said they are going to share experience, at the time you said they are not going to treat, and the High Commissioner of China said that they will treat some of their members. This is against any international ethics in medical profession.
But does it actually contravene any extant law in your medical practice?
Yes. There is no way a doctor in Nigeria can go to US and attempt to start treating Nigerians in US. It is impossible. If he has written it that they will try to treat Chinese within that place, that is very, very wrong. And we will follow that up and we will ensure that we bring the truth to Nigeria. We have said that they should all be in quarantine, to be quarantined, because that is the specification we are going to ourselves. Where are they now? That is the question.
All right. I have been speaking in the studio of Television Nigerian with Dr. Faduil Francis Adedola, the president of the Nigerian Medical Association. And we are discussing the Chinese experts that have just arrived the country in a guise or probably to help contain the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. After this short break, we'll come again to continue, but we want you to know that immediately after the break, the lines will be open for you to call and make your contributions as regards the topic on discussion. Please stay tuned.
This is Television Nigerian, a broadcast network committed to serving you the very best in online and offline television programming. Situated in the serene environment of Guzape, Abuja FCT, TVN, as it is fondly called, caters to a wide variety of audience via carefully orchestrated mind-blowing programs in the areas of fashion, business, politics, entertainment, religion, movies, food and health, culture and lifestyle, events around the globe, sports and foreign news. Whatever your inclination, we've got you completely covered with programs like Issues of the Moment, The Patriot, Daybreak Nigeria, Matter Africa, TVN Business Time, Healthy Living, From the Cradle, Stay Inspired, Entertainment Gist, Movie Hour, Hits Paradise, among others. All designed to keep you thoroughly informed, entertained, at the edge of your seat and yearning for more. A tour around our domain will reveal a highly dedicated staff force and a state-of-the-art facility and equipment for high-definition quality broadcast, making our station your #1 choice in advertising your business and propagating your ideas. We are currently on NightComSat doing our test transmission for takeoff in the nearest future. Television Nigerian is located in Nigeria at Television Nigerian House, Guzape Hilltop Mansion, beside Guzape White House, Guzape Abuja FCT, and in the United Kingdom at 45 Ancient House, 48 Aerodrome Road, Beaufort Park, Colindale, London. For inquiries,
welcome back. And of course, the numbers are displayed on your screen already, and they are open for you to call and contribute. But however, I still have the enemy president in the studio of TVN to discuss and answer some of your questions. Back to you, Dr. Sir. If you look at the rate of death in Spain, China, and Italy, when you consider it with that of the African continent, especially Nigeria, it's quite different. Could you explain with any medical terms why this is so? The death rate in Spain, much, Italy, so much, and that of China, so much too. And in this part of the world, the containment, is it as a result of your expertise, or you should explain to us?
Well, thank you very much. I think it's good for us to not to over-assume.
Okay.
Worldwide, the case fatality rate of COVID-19 infection is about 2 to 4%. Okay. What that means is that if we take 4% or 5%, it means that for every 100 person infected, 5 will succumb. Okay. And if in Nigeria we are in 272 or so,
The
total number
yeah,
now.
the total number, yes.
If it is 5%, then we expect about 10.
Okay.
But let's do this small calculation.
Okay.
If we say it's 5%, that means for every 100, 5 people dies. For every 1,000, 50 people. For every 10,000, 500 people. For every 100,000, 5,000 people. For every million. You see how that 5% becomes bigger.
Become geometrical.
Geometrically. But what has happened is that in Nigeria, the rate of spread has not been that exponential that it is seen in other climes.
Okay.
And why have we had this rate of spread contained? One, it may be through false testing, false number. Let me explain that way. Because if we do not do as many as possible testing, now the total number of people we have tested is still about 5,000, 6,000.
Okay.
If we have tested over 20,000, maybe the rate of the positive aspect may have gone beyond that 270 something. Okay, but importantly, in those countries, they move the rate in which it gets to other people and they get infected is or was quite faster than what we have seen. What has happened, what has caused it, is too early as a scientist for you to be able to come up and say it is due to how well we have done that. But I can tell you we have learned a lot from the experience of those first set of countries that have had the infection within their country. Okay. So if we continue this way and the spread is contained, I can tell you we will not have much death, and we are still within the normal fatality rate between 2 to 4% worldwide. So there are some other postulation that maybe because of the BCG, the type of BCG that is for tuberculosis, that we take when we were young, that it was that BCG that could possibly give us that immunity from having severe form of COVID-19. That is still a postulation. Again, some people still put it out that maybe it is our genetic makeup. Because human beings, we are all human beings. The genetic configuration of a black man, of a Mongoloid, which are the Chinese people, the Orientals, or Caucasians, are little bit different.
Okay, let's pick this call, doctor.
Okay.
When we come back, probably we'll continue to discuss it. Okay, we missed the call.
So maybe it is those genetic makeup that made the difference. So I can tell you, we are still in the early stage. We may not be able to fully understand all the different scenarios. But importantly, what we must do in this country is to ensure that we continue with the preventive measures that we have.
Okay, I'll come back to ask you after this call.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Are you watching us live and from where?
I'm watching you live from Gariki.
Okay. We are discussing the arrival of the Chinese expats into the country. What is your take?
I've been watching you guys now for a while. My name is Idemudia.
Idemudia.
Yeah, Idemudia, over.
Okay.
So I've been listening to Doctor, and he made a statement about why the Chinese must be coming in the period where everyone already knows that the outbreak started from China. So like there's a fear and panic that they might be importing the virus down to Nigeria again.
Yeah.
So I want to ask a question. Should we bury ourselves in disaster when we know that we can actually get external help in treating the virus and contain it? Like, should we just watch everything now escalate and actually become figures that we hear in the US? because we're scared that they might actually bring in the disease to our country. I mean, they're already on the 14 days quarantine, so what can possibly go wrong? I'd like you to answer that question.
Okay.
Because I'm concerned from some form of bitterness, because I don't think the government did anybody in actually getting external help for us. It will actually go a long way, because if we notice, the China case, they haven't been having new cases as much as before.
Yeah.
So it means they are doing something right in their country. So if they are doing something right in their country, they should also come and help us do it right before it escalates.
It's okay. It's okay. I think the doctor in the studio will answer you. Thank you for calling Idemudwa.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Demudwa. I think your question is apt. I want to agree with you that if they are doing something right in their country, can they come and help us? The answer is yes.
Okay.
But should they be here physically to come and help us?
Okay, maybe you have to answer all this one together. Okay. I think we have a call again. Hello? 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 The call, I think, is from US.
So, the answer is no. You have discussed with us in the studio now. I have heard you. And I can take action.
Okay.
You do not need to be physically here.
Okay.
So any experience they want to pass, we can do it by Skype, we can do it by Zoom, especially when we know we are in the middle of a pandemic and it is human being who traffics them.
Exactly.
Many of them that traffic them, they don't do it intentionally.
Okay.
So as it is now, everybody locks its own house. You don't allow people to come. If we want to come, we have other means of interaction.
Okay.
Secondly, it is also important for you to know that you must be doing something wrong for you to bring someone to come and help.
Exactly.
Unless you want to say that the Nigerian health professionals are not doing what is expected.
Yeah, hello. Well, yeah, you are live on television Nigerian. Can we have your take? Where you are watching us from, your name, and where you are calling from?
Yes, I'm watching with a radio. I'm watching from a radio, So I saw number. I want to just say a quick few words. I'm calling from India.
Okay.
Okay, I say it is. I want to ask a question briefly.
Okay.
How many countries in this world, how many continents in this world have invited Chinese 15 or 14 months world to come and assist them in this COVID-19 epidemic? How many countries in the world and how many countries in the world have rejected them?
Okay, please tell us your name.
Okay.
Your name, please. Don't be angry.
My name is Obinna. I am not angry.
Okay.
I am not angry.
Okay.
My name is Obinna.
Okay.
I am calling you from India.
Okay. All right.
My question is this. Nigeria imported 15 or 14 man team to come and assist Nigerians in this epidemic, right?
Yes.
From my own knowledge and from my own understanding, I have not seen countries that imported China openly. Else, they will reject their medical help. Now, if you go to China, the Nigerians, the ones who went to the market for business, the ones that are staying there, documents, they are being chased outside, but Nigeria are welcoming doctors. To be frankly, the only thing I suggest that Nigeria should do, Nigeria itself, they have white scientists in the whole world. Nigeria have best medical doctors in the whole world, more than China. I am saying in Asia. So, what I'm trying to say, before Nigeria will go and bring eggs to its country, they should please look into the ones they have. There is nothing Nigeria does not have in a woman. All our young boys, our young doctors, what is there to say? When you want to go and import China now, you give them cash, you give them security, but your own citizens, you don't value them. We have doctors who are professionals. We have nurses who are professionals. They should look into our own people and stop importing everything, even to speak. We are so ashamed to speak in the country where we reside because of what our government are doing. In this condition, government are protecting the people, giving them many things in medical aspect. But our own country, even the one we have, we don't value it. We rather we go to China, which we are more far better before, to invite them to come.
All right.
Those Chinas are not above 3 feet because I am above 3 feet. But I'm here because when you try to bring out your knowledge in Nigeria, the only one government will go to you. If they cannot play with you, they will suppress you down. So they should stop. They should stop all those things that China bring. They should try to take it very well before they will use it on anyone. Other countries did it and they find out that those things have been infected. Nigeria should check out all those things that enter Nigeria to see if they are safe before starting to use it. And let me make one comment before I drop my call. Sorry.
Okay.
There is a case going on, and a China doctor, he went to America to claim that he's a doctor. He's not a doctor, he's a colonel from their army. They went here. So those people that came to Nigeria as a doctor, how are Nigeria sure that all of them are doctors? How are Nigeria sure?
All right.
And I'm saying that Nigerians should be awake and watch their back on these Chinese people.
But let me ask you one question, Obinna. Hello.
Yes, I'm listening. I'm listening to you.
What do you think that the Chinese government will gain if they come to infect us in Africa?
What they will gain is so big because this work is so evil. And in history, China has the largest radio telescope in the world. It was destroyed during the 80s, but they did it in 2016. Sorry. What is their mission? Let me tell you, my brother, we live in a country whereby we are set electricity every time. We can read, we can go through many things. There is a lot to gain. If there is nothing to gain, other countries, even Asia countries, they are brothers. Before talking of Africa, why are they talking about Africa? France said that they have to go and test the vaccine in Africa. Why are they always reporting in Africa? Because there is so many things special about African people. And it will take us African people a long way if we don't value what we have.
All right, thank you
We
very
don't
much.
value what we have, or we all get killed.
That will be-
What China is doing in this thing is too big for me to answer you on this conversation. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much, Obinna, for your wonderful contribution all the way from India. And I'm sure you are enjoying our station from India.
Yes, I'm also one of the embassies, so I do go there, and I believe we are working hard here to make sure that last year we also speak. That's why whatever is happening in our country, we are not happy.
I say you are happy with Television Nigeria bringing you live this program. All right.
Hello?
I said you are happy with the station bringing you this in India.
I am so much happy. That is why I was able to call. I was so happy, and I was so happy to comment.
All right.
Because I have been looking a way to comment in this kind of issue.
All right,
So thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Obinna. Let's,
Thank you.
Doctor, before we go, I would like to just add this to somebody is still calling, I think, but after this, let me ask you this. Now that the experts have come, how do you attribute the people, the NCDC and you people have treated the 33 persons that were infected that you treated and discharged? What will you attribute this to now? After this call, you answer all together and we could call it a quit. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, good afternoon. Your name and where you are calling from, please.
Yeah, my name is Loveday Okochukwu Okoro. I'm calling from Indonesia.
Okay, Loveday Okechukwu Okoro from Indonesia. Ugochukwu Okoro. All right. Yeah, Ugochukwu Okoro, what do you have to say about the arrival of the medical experts from China to help Nigeria contain the COVID-19?
I'm not really impressed with the new development of our country, inviting Chinese people to come and participate in this COVID COVID-19 in my country, Nigeria. Honestly, I'm not happy. We have medical doctors, we have expatriates in that country. Why should we invite Chinese people? How many COVID-19 cases do we have in our country? China people are dying every day. Let them treat their people. Let them. What is their interest in Nigeria? Let them leave us alone. I am not in support of that. They are coming to Nigeria. I'm not in support of it at all.
Okay, you are in Indonesia now.
Yes, I'm presently in Indonesia.
Okay, you know that it is not the Chinese government that wants to come. It is the FG that invited them to come.
I don't support their coming. There are many cases out there in that China. And look at what they are doing to our people there. Treating our citizens like the lowest animals. Of which is not good. What is their interest in our country? You tell me, what is their interest in Nigeria?
They came to help us, as the federal government assumed or put it, that they have arrived to help contain the COVID-19.
How many cases of COVID-19 do we have in our country? How many of the cases do we have in our country, Nigeria?
Okay.
What is their interest? How many cases? Millions, thousands of people are dying in China. They have not done anything about it. They have not stopped the death. And they are now running to come to Nigeria to cure people that is infected. Yeah?
All right.
The country, the countries that they helped, what is the outcome of it? And even what they supply to Germany, Spain, what is the outcome of it? Why should we invite them in our country? Why should we allow them to come and be? Have you tested that thing that they brought to Nigeria? Have you tested it? Do you know the content of that thing? Why not them use it to cure their own people first?
Well, the enemy president is here. He could answer you immediately. Anyway, thank you very much to Butuku for calling and reaching us from Indonesia.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much. Let me correct some impression.
Okay.
One, it is not Nigerian governments that apply to China government to send those people. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, these people that came are not from the China government.
Are you certain about this?
Very certain. Number three, it is the Chinese company in Nigeria that decided to give us some medical goods.
Okay.
And in the process, they said they will bring some experts.
Okay.
So if anything goes wrong,
which of the companies?
I don't know.
Is it the one of Japan?
I don't know, but I know that there are some Chinese companies.
Okay, I will get
according
it.
to they said.
So
now they say when they are coming, they will bring 10 or 15 medical experts, quote and unquote. That means that there is nobody who is standing shorty for these people who had come. It is not the government. It is not Nigerian government that invited them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we should not miss that area. These are pure businessmen who had decided to go and bring or cherry pick or whatever you want to say, some group of people. And again, the question is, at what level have we agreed that these are the problems in our hand that we needed them to fill? What are the names of those people? What specifically do they want to do? Who do they want to interact with?
Yeah.
So these are the questions. And for the first caller,
sorry, you will answer this along, so don't be angry, please. Hello? Hello? Okay, we lost him.
And for the first caller, certainly we are not opposed to people sharing experience.
Okay.
If I need experience as a doctor, I have a way of interacting worldwide.
Okay.
Today, the Federal Executive Council are not doing physical meeting. A lot of people within this country are not doing physical meeting. They are using technological know-how.
Okay.
And this is what we have said.
Okay, I think the company that invited them is this China's constructive civil engineering company.
Yeah,
hello.
CC.
Yes.
Hello, good day.
Good day. You are live on Television Nigerian. Your name and where you are calling from, please.
Okay, my name is Brother Victor. I'm calling from Anambra State.
You are calling from where?
I'm calling from Anambra State.
Okay, Victor calling from Anambra State.
Yes.
What is your take on the issue that you are watching?
My suggestion is that China people coming from Nigeria to come and hire us because of the coronavirus thing. Like I'm asking, are Nigeria like this said the people that get the coronavirus or something? Because
I think your network is actually breaking. Maybe you could call us back on the other line, but you can see some affirmations towards your opinion and your stand.
Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, my point is that we don't need those China people in Nigeria because they show back to their country. Our people that is on China now, they are treating them bad. They are not few working in that China. So they should go back to that their China. We do not need their help in this Nigeria. The Nigeria government, they want to use this to scam us. Later on now, they will say that their budget is so amount because of this China thing.
Okay.
So we are not in support of that.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Victor, for calling from Anambra State. I would like you to round up, President.
So your question about those who had gotten healed.
Yes. And how do we attribute this now that the experts are in Nigeria and if
Well, let me tell you, any viral illness will run its course.
Okay.
Running a course means that either you treat or you don't treat. If you have enough immunity, it will come, it will stay some days, and it will clear off.
Okay.
It is in very few number of people that they go into a severe state.
Okay.
Okay? So I can tell you for a fact that there is no particular drug that has been gotten to say this drug will certainly cure COVID-19. What the world is doing essentially is to support anybody that is infected.
Okay.
Okay? And that is what we are doing, hoping that the body immunity will overwhelm that infection.
Now, in 3 minutes,
Yes.
we just have 3 minutes to go. Could you tell us what is your plan now that they are here, the plan of the enemy? Are you people going on strike? Are you going to be patriotic enough to accommodate them? And so what are you going to do as an association? And secondly, the state of the Nigerian health workers, the doctors, and what is your state? Could you say that you have been a kind of emancipated and positioned to work effectively in the country?
Well, I must tell you firstly that we're in a war situation, and if we have any people who are fighting the war, if they retreat at this time, it's like turning their back against the community, against the country.
Okay.
So certainly the Nigerian Medical Association is not contemplating on a strike action right away.
Okay.
We are discussing, we are looking at how things are.
So let me first of all, on behalf of the country, thank you, people.
I can say that what we are saying is to allow the country and for us to defend the populace.
Exactly.
We will not turn our back against the populace,
Okay.
but we will take some decisive action, maybe during or immediately after the containment of COVID-19. Secondly, we have to find a way to ensure the real thing, the real activity this group of people had come. The time is still short.
Yes.
We'll come back and tell Nigerians why they have come. And we'll be able to tell you categorically that what they have told us may not be the main reason why they are here. Thirdly, it's about how the medical and health workers are on the field. I can tell you, if you have seen what the president of Ghana has done, he has motivated his health workforce.
Okay.
In Nigeria up to now, 6 weeks or 7 weeks into COVID infection, ordinarily coming out with an insurance package for those people at the front line is still something that is difficult for our country to come fully out.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Francis Adedola Fadoile, the president of Nigerian Medical Association, for coming into our program Spectacle on Television Nigeria.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
I hope when you have cause to investigate everything, you will come here to partner with us.
Certainly.
All right. That has been Spectacle on the discussion about the 15-man medical expert from China that arrived the country to help contain COVID-19. Actually, they came with kits and help materials for Nigerians. We'll get to know about this. We'll follow this story to the later, and you can also follow us on our social media platforms. At the Twitter, we are at TV Nigerian, and on Instagram, Television Nigerian, Facebook, Television Nigerian. And our website is tvn.news. You can watch us live from any part of the country that you are and contribute by commenting. Thanks for watching. I have been your host, Daniel Atai. Welcome to Spectacle on Television Nigeria. I am your host, Daniel Atai.